Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. No, sir. I'm not letting myself... Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to Hayley and Stella. My name is Stella.
And I'm Hayley.
And today, we're back. It's the last episode. We did it. We made it to the end. This is episode 8 of Avatar: The Last Airbender live-action series on Netflix. Ignore the person trimming their bushes next to my house. If you can hear that, that's what's happening right now. It just started. Listen, my neighbor's big on lawn care. Really, really big on lawn maintenance. So, we're pretty excited for this episode. This is obviously the finale to season 1, which would be also the same as book 1 in the animated series. In case you're coming here after not seeing the rest of our reactions, which why would you do that? Go watch them. Hayley, big mega Avatar fan. I'm an itty bitty baby fan. I just watched it for the first time this past year, so we both have some knowledge of the original series, but obviously this series has taken some liberties and changed the story up a bit. So we don't totally know how this final episode is going to go, but the Fire Nation is commencing an attack on the Northern Water Tribe. That's a big no-no. We like the Northern Water Tribe, except for their sexist waterbending instructor. But I'm sure he'll come around eventually. So we're excited to get into this. There's going to be some like big showdowns, big climactic moments, honestly, some huge character moments. We're not going to get too much into like what we know or don't know. Honestly, we just had a little sesh before we started filming, just like to go through some of the lore and see if I remembered anything that happened. But this honestly could change everything. Hayley has already like theorized some big changes that the show might make, and I think it'd be cool. So, yeah, anything to say before we jump into it, before we wrap out this series?
I'm just really excited. I'm kind of surprised that I'm so excited to watch this last episode. But I'm really, really interested to see what's going to stay the same and what's going to change.
Yeah, I mean, this has been fun just like from a writer perspective. Not that I'm really a writer, but I like writing. And so to watch this and be like, what did they change? Why did they change it? And how does it impact the story? It's just cool. You know, for people who, I would recommend for people who like film and TV or cartoons versus live action, this is a really good example of maybe not a good example of like perfect adaptation, but a good example of the process of adapting. So yeah. So my nerd brain is gonna love it, but also just my regular brain is also gonna just like it because it's gonna be big and there'll be cool special effects and lots of big waterbending, firebending, airbending fights. There's gonna be a lot. So, a lot to be excited for. This episode will be up on our Patreon, totally unedited and uncut, so if you want to watch along with us and see every single thing we have to say, every little dumb comment that I make along the way, which there will be many, that'll be up on our Patreon. Please head over to our Patreon and help us out if you can. Also over there, I mentioned it last time, but you can vote. Upcoming reactions. We'll be starting a new series as well as continuing with our horror reactions, maybe some other movies here and there. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff coming up, and we thank you guys for watching this whole series so far. Let us know in the comments if you've liked this show, if it's been a good surprise, a negative surprise, if you're excited for season 2. I know some people I know have said they will not be watching season 2. I think I will be. Mm-hmm. I think we will be on this channel. So, you know, stick around for that, and yeah, let's just start the episode.
Oh, he's coming. Yeah, buddy.
See, where would you have been if you were like, hey friends, I don't actually want you to fight with me because you'll be in danger. Bro,
watch out, Qatar! There's a new group coming in starboard side. Hey, contain the soldiers at the front.
I'm so proud of them.
They're already so grown.
I know. This is like when Team Avatar is only 3 people total, you know? And they're holding their own. Nice.
Nice job, troops. Those flame heads aren't going anywhere.
One ship down.
I was about to say that's only one. Oh my god!
You gotta be kidding me.
The amount of ships
What
is
did you
comical.
think they were gonna do? Pull up with one ship, like pew pew pew, pew pew pew.
But Zhao has cornered the Avatar, and one way or another, this is where my journey ends.
Hi, bro.
Signs of warm water outflows from the city. They could provide a pathway inside.
Give him a hug.
Lu Ten would have been proud to have you as his father.
That's not allowed. Hero can't cry.
How far away are they?
They'll probably be in range in an hour, like 2 tops. Where are you going?
To even the odds.
Vague.
That's so vague, girly.
Cryptic.
You're wondering why the command ship isn't leading the attack. It would make sense to attack on multiple fronts. It's courtesy of our spies in Omashu.
Oh, Sokka. Uh-oh. You helped design that.
Okay, wait a second. Why had we not grabbed our spears already? I thought we had like at least a little bit of time to grab, and we're just like, oh my gosh, gotta get our weapons, y'all.
Women are not allowed in combat.
Forget your pride! This is about the survival of the waterbenders. You know we can make a difference.
We
Yes, all the girlies.
Oh.
They've never had any kind of combat training, but they can
know
do something,
how-
I'm sure.
All they want is
Channel
what you
energy.
want.
And in this world, that's kind of massive.
What good is it relying on the past when it stops us from having a future?
So true, bestie.
Yourself, you old fool, and let us get the job done.
Western side of the wall needs reinforcement.
I'm not going to hide while everyone is risking their lives.
Yue, anything should happen to me. You are the future of the Northern Water Tribe.
Not foreboding at all.
I need you to go with Yue and help her move the people away from the wall. Make sure the princess stays safe.
No pressure.
Yeah, seriously. Ooh, slay, girlies.
We're here to help. Master Paku told us to report to you.
Paku sent you to me?
Commander Katara!
We haven't finished our training yet, but try our best.
You could start by reinforcing that section.
Yes, Master Katara.
What? I'm not a...
You are a master.
That brought me unreasonable amounts of joy.
I know. Because it's also like, oh, the next generation does not even hesitate to respect her, which is amazing.
No, not at all.
Admiral,
Because they saw her.
waterbenders draw this.
Her skill speaks for itself. Like it overcomes their traditions.
I suggest you pause the attack until daybreak.
No.
What did
Thanks,
you think
Jack.
he was gonna say?
It's the ice moon, a rare cosmic event.
Nothing. Just a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
And yet there is wisdom to be gleaned from the old tales.
Yeah, dude, that's like your whole world. It's about balance and push and pull. That's like the rules of the game here.
And so the waterbenders believe powers come from the spirit of the moon. These same spirits give up their immortality for one night every year and become part of the mortal world.
I think this is slightly different.
Life.
And death.
But I'm surprised this isn't common knowledge. If this is the case, like, how do we not know this?
Not thinking of tampering
World
with the
history
spirit
just really
world, are you?
sucks.
Yeah. Well, Fire Lord
Are you?
or Fire Nation propaganda is very like they don't actually they think the rest of the world like sucks and they're actually saving everybody by conquering them.
I've come to warn you. My knife is near. And if it has returned to the north, it can only mean one thing.
You're going to kill the ocean and moon?
Yeah, that's so unhinged, Zhao.
Killing the ocean spirit would deprive waterbenders around the world of their lives. Not a monster.
I have thoughts.
He's like, just the moon spirit.
I'm only gonna kill the moon.
Zhao cannot be allowed to meddle with the primal
Only
forces
gonna
of
kill the moon. Is such an unhinged thing to say.
We need to find Sokka and Yue. Something terrible is about to happen.
Good job, Momo. You actually made yourself useful. Momo?
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. I'm not letting myself.
Is he
Alive. Barely.
Momo!
Come with me, I can help him. We don't have much time.
That's just rude.
Where are we?
It's the most sacred spot in the north.
Buddy, you're gonna be okay.
To the source of all spiritual energy in our land.
He's just a baby.
Dumb dummy, don't scare me like that.
Oh.
Thank you.
The Momo Sokka bonding moment is so cute.
Really interrupted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quickly. It is maybe wild that they did completely stop what they were doing to like go off and heal a tiny little lemur boy with everything, given the circumstances.
Yeah. I also feel like it's real. Those air balloons are so obvious at night because fire is glowing against the dark night sky. Like,
I can tell this one's not designed for combat, just transport. Because I helped design the thing.
our engineering boy.
Precise form the ocean and moon spirits will take, and I need your help identifying them.
They could appear as a pair of trees.
I was about to say, you gotta kill that leaf over there.
Until we start looking, right?
It's wild that this is his plan.
No, but I know where we need to go.
Avatar!
I forgot Zuko's showing up.
Yeah, no, he's gotta have his moment.
Need to stop Zhao.
This isn't about Zhao, this is about us!
Stop Zhao. I'll deal with him. Go easy.
Katara.
Enough people have been hurt already.
I don't care.
Oh, well.
I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah!
Yeah, we know.
Yeah! Yes, girly.
You found a master, haven't you?
The thing is, she really hasn't though.
We need to stop Zhao. He's trying to kill the ocean and moon spirits.
Why couldn't it have just been a leaf? Why does
I
it have
know.
to be the most obvious
I know.
symbolic
They're
creature?
swimming in yin and yang, literally. These fish.
Yes!
Couldn't you at least hide in a pond with some other koi?
Without the moon, the world will be thrown out of balance and chaos will be unleashed.
Yeah, bro. You
Wouldn't want that.
you're not
Ozai
trying
lacks
to mess
vision.
with them.
Zhao, whatever you do to that spirit, I'll unleash on you tenfold!
Go off, Iroh.
Once I take my place as the new Fire Lord, you can stand by my side. Your presence.
You're literally delusional, Zhao.
The
Honestly.
dragon of the West can rise again.
Kind of embarrassed for you. Just a little.
The Moon Slayer!
That was such an ick.
Zhao, don't. No matter what you think, this isn't power.
I can wipe out an entire race of benders. Can you imagine what that's like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean
I can.
genocide?
Yeah.
Like,
Aang's the last airbender? He knows about this.
Release his spirit and I'll go with you.
How much of a threat will the Avatar be once I eliminate waterbending? You don't matter anymore.
He's crazy.
ooh.
Not the twist of the knife.
Wow. Boo.
Zhao, you have no idea what you've just done.
I can't bend!
Oh, that's so scary. Oh, that's so scary.
Oh my gosh. We just watched all of them die.
The city has been breached!
Black and white, except for the fire. Oh, shoot. Was that Han?
Fall back!
I don't think so.
Fall back!
I think it was.
No! We'll cover your retreat.
Oh.
He's right there.
Never mind. Okay, Zhao. Just gonna run like a coward?
The moon is gone.
It's not over.
He's like, ocean spirit, let's go.
You'll be lost forever.
I should have been lost 100 years ago. This isn't my...
Oh, dude.
Ah, this is so sick.
He almost looks like Godzilla or something. I know he's like a koi fish, but it's giving lizard a little.
Aang has given himself over to the ocean spirit, allowing it to channel its rage through him.
Okay, that was pretty exposition-y, I'll be real.
Yeah.
There is no Aang anymore.
What?
Yue!
Yeah, that's a very strange stake to set up.
Zuko!
It's time to go.
What is that?
That is wrath.
Ooh.
There is no Avatar. Not anymore.
Why do the people keep saying that? That is so...
Yeah, that's...
interesting. Zhao!
Let me go.
He's a small man who's going to meet a small end.
Not him pushing the children over.
You're alive.
Everyone's just retreating. And in the middle is just two firebenders who are fighting only each other.
Traitor.
Coward.
Also a hypocrite. Like, can you believe this guy? Oh yeah, you're a traitor. How dare you go against the leadership of your father? While I stage
Ozai's a
coup.
small-minded man. I could be a better Fire Lord.
The Avatar was mine. My mission was...
Your mission was a sham. Ozai was playing with you. And the winner is the one without the scar, who identified the blue spirit swords. Azula told me everything I
That's
needed
really
to
interesting. I don't think anyone ever found out that he was the blue spirit.
fire
Besides
in
Aang.
which
I thought-
her iron
I thought Zhao did
was
know.
forged.
Did he?
Or figure it out before... Well, it didn't matter much because Zhao, I don't know, wasn't around later on.
Whoopsies. Because I didn't think anyone else knew about it. Zuko, you gotta be careful. Don't be like your dad. Yeah, Iroh was not gonna let that happen. Are you kidding? I think he's gone.
That was a little anticlimactic.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no.
Is it dead? My guy, did you get a look at this thing?
I think you just made him mad.
Just give it one big ol' sweep with your little fish hand.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Aang, I don't know if you can claim to be like, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to kill anyone after this.
I would never hurt anyone. That is my favorite edits of the series have been Aang going, I would never kill anyone. I would never take life, and then cutting back and forth to the water spirit. Aang!
Or even just like normally, like when you're airbending people into the frigid waters, they're gonna die. Or off a giant wall.
Left is a vengeful spirit who will roam endlessly looking for its partner. The world will be forever out of balance. I was touched by the moon spirit as a child, so I have its life within me. It's time for me to give it back.
Yue, please. Please don't. Please, you don't have to do this.
She kind of does, though.
Yeah, this isn't just about Aang.
This is about literally everything. The balance of the entire world.
Queen, icon. Sorry.
She is. She's amazing. She's amazing. She didn't even hesitate. She knew what she had to do. The music. Okay, good. The way the music was ramping up, I'm like, they're not gonna try to end it right now, are they?
I know. I was like, we got time. We still have things to wrap up.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's so much worse than everything else that this episode was trying to make me sad about.
Han.
Both of them.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry I couldn't protect her.
That is not what happened.
That was not something you or anyone could have stopped.
She sacrificed herself for all of us. I watched it happen.
She literally froze your feet to the ground.
I stood on the sidelines while others fought and died being...
Sokka.
In a moment when she must have been scared, you made sure she wasn't alone.
We'll rebuild and we'll emerge stronger. Change is the key to new life. You reminded me of that.
But Aang still has a journey to complete. And so do I.
In that case, he couldn't have asked for a better master.
Master Katara.
For you,
What is it?
water.
Oh.
Well, he came around. It only took several hundred friends and family members dying, but you know.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm tired.
Oh, ouch.
Then you should rest.
Yeah, really.
Why is it
Man
I'm
needs his
tired hurts
rest.
so much?
Because it's the least Zuko thing he could possibly say.
Yeah.
It's the biggest change we've seen in him so far, to just admit that I am tired of fighting.
It's not your fault, Aang.
I caused this.
Stop it.
My God.
Stop it right now.
Because I failed to be the Avatar.
Not everything's about you, Aang.
Aang, this is war. None of that is your fault.
I think I understand something Gyatso was trying to tell me. Let go of the past, or I'll never have a future.
As usual, he was correct.
I'm gonna learn waterbending, and I'm gonna make sure of that. Earthbending.
Which means back to Amashu.
So many adventures left. What if we perchance meet an earthbender who joins our little
Anyone
squad?
else hungry?
What
That'd be
would the odds
crazy.
be of that?
Our forces were unable to take the city. It seems the Avatar remains alive and free.
Uh-oh.
So basically, we didn't accomplish any of the things we meant to do. Oops.
Conquering the North was always an unlikely proposition.
Why attack the North at all?
Distraction.
What?
Omashu is ours.
Oh. Is that a Zilla?
A brilliant strategy.
I would think so. I
But
think her plan,
was the
because
Fire
she
Lord
wouldn't
aware
have planned this failed attack on the North.
Interesting. Ooh.
Ruh-roh.
The unfurling of the Fire Nation emblem.
What's next?
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, ruh-roh. Oh, wait.
Measuring the movements of the heavens, we have devised a method to better understand celestial motion.
Oh.
Are they gonna set up?
It's
gonna
taken
set up
100 years, but the time finally.
Oh no, the comet.
Is the silver one meant to be the moon, though? Because that does kind of set up the eclipse a little bit. Spooky. It's nice of them to give, like, a little 20-second clip to kind of set up for anyone who hasn't watched the show. I appreciate that, guys. Okay, well.
Interesting. Interesting.
They do not conquer Omashu or capture
Boomy?
Thank you. I was like,
I think they do, but I don't think
later.
It's this early. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, until later. Definitely not the end of season 1, because they capture him.
I think,
but that also
that's setting up the fact that, like, because they're like, oh, let's go back to Omashu. Makes sense. They can talk to Boomy, so they have to get rid of him, I guess, and get rid of that possibility for them to be able to meet somebody else.
Return, perchance.
Meet
also,
another
we haven't been to
iconic team member.
Say yet. Yeah, perchance. Which that's all like TBD, which is really exciting. We'll just get this out of the way. As far as I know, no announcements have been made about. I know the show was confirmed.
Yeah, for the next 2 seasons,
right?
Yes, but I haven't heard anything
if they're
about
following
like
the show. Should be all they need, but I don't know about that.
I guess we'll see. But
we'll
yes,
see.
I haven't heard
no
any
casting
announcements for
our
girl, our one more girl that we've been waiting for.
So that's honestly really exciting stuff set up, but let's just dish for a bit on this finale and this season. Obviously, all of our opinions up until this point are in our series of reactions so far, so this is not going to be a huge long outro, but final episode was, I thought, pretty good. I don't think as much changed as some of the other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
The main fight seemed the same. There was the plot point about Aang not being able to return from the water spirit.
That was weird.
Which is, I think, was literally just there to, like, up the stakes. But I'm like, it's the middle of a war and the balance of the universe is going to be thrown out of whack. Like, I don't think the stakes needed to be upped.
No, they didn't need it. It still would have made perfect sense, like, for UA to do that anyway. Because...
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the whole world's out of balance.
Yeah, it wasn't for Aang. And I think... I don't know if that was also for the emotional beats with Katara, but I'll be real. As far as this episode goes, like, those are not the emotional beats that have hit. We know that these characters are not going to die.
Yeah.
You know, what hits a lot harder is their internal conflict. You know? We know they're not dying. It's not gonna hit the same way. But what does hit is, like, obviously Aang's guilt has been a huge part of this series. Like, that works, especially in a world where, like, the casualties of war are a lot more explicit and on screen and not like, oh, a bunch of people died, but it all happened off screen, so we don't really need to think about that. Like, his guilt feels real, because I'm like, yes, okay, he is walking across this war-torn, you know, area, and he's just seeing bodies of
people that he knows,
families and children. Like, it's bad. That's pretty bad. That's kind of the worst it could be. So that makes sense. But there have been some changes made that I think are just meant to, like, tug at your heartstring a little bit, or give it, like, a classic emotional climax. But I don't think this story needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've wrapped up a lot, but so much happened in this one season, like a little plot points here and there, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I think I need a map of the series as a whole, because this story is all obviously really complex, and there are a lot of subplots that are set up that later are important, but are not important at all in the first season, and sometimes not even in the second season. So honestly, I think to, like, properly critique the story and like where it's going, I would need a layout of like how they begin an arc, where it's going, how they set it up, and I don't have that. But there wasn't anything in the season I don't feel like that I don't feel was concluded.
Yeah.
Ko shows up in the original finale, correct?
Finale
of book 1. I remember him making another appearance.
I don't remember that.
I just remember there being so much more to do with the spirit world. Like, doesn't Heibai help?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay. Friends in the comments, like, drop, because these are all like small moments that I barely remember, but that I'm just my memory is so vague that it's more of a feeling that I'm kind of just like, I felt like there was more. I think there's more characters. So could be me. I could be like making this stuff up. I think going into season 2, this is gonna be Azula's season.
Yeah, she's gonna replace Zhao, I think, as the number 1 antagonist.
Yeah.
For
and
now.
we got so much Zuko backstory already. Like, we know his deal already. And he's honestly started his redemption. You know, even just that "I'm tired" line. And obviously, he is going to flip-flop and go back to being not the nicest and flip and you know, work for the good guys and work for the bad guys, and that's his character. But I think the focus can be pulled off of him and put onto Azula for a little bit, which I would be really thrilled about. Because she's an amazing character, but she's not much more than an antagonist in the original.
I think she's used a lot as like we see how she affects Zuko a lot, because Zuko is the main character who's developing. And yes, we see, like, especially in like towards the end of the show, we see a lot more of her story and like understand her a little bit better. But it really, most of everything that she does is to serve Zuko's story, or to like just be an antagonist to everybody, and not like. I'm excited that we're getting some depth already. She didn't get this much depth this early.
It also feels like they later team up again. It's not like they never work together again. But in this universe, that team up feels a lot more unlikely. I don't think that means it won't happen. I just think there's a bigger journey to get back to them like working together. Especially because he knows that he's literally been used as a motivation tactic. Like, look what happened to your brother, because he sucked. So don't do that.
Or also like, look, he's in exile, but he's finding the Avatar. What are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. It set up some interesting things for like the central characters. The weakest part of this series has been Team Avatar, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
It is not performances. I know some people are iffy on performances. Now that we're through the series, and once we started getting into it, I did talk to some friends about their thoughts, and if they liked it, spoiler free, obviously. But a lot of people were, you know, iffy about performances and writing of certain characters, and there are definitely clunky lines. But it also feels like fundamentally they don't really understand what to do with the characters. You know, it's kind of like, well, what makes Katara tick? Well, she's cares about family. That's not good enough, you guys.
She's multifaceted. Okay.
She's multifaceted, and so is Sokka, and he's got a little bit of that, but I don't know. I don't know. Have either of them really had a solo story up until this point? They've kind of had side plots, but neither of them have been able to take the helm.
Yeah, he had his thing with Suki for a bit.
Yeah,
Katara had her thing with Jet for a bit.
That's the thing, is it feels like all they can think to do with these characters is like, okay, what about the like relationships? And those are such a minor part. You know, who you're getting a crush on and whatever is not central to their characters. I would really love to see in season 2 a full Katara driven, you know, plot resolution, whether it's just one episode, like whether it's just one story, a standalone story, a battle, etc. But to see one of them, give them something to do on their own and let them really grow and evolve. Because Katara is more than just a waterbender. She really is. And when you reduce her to that, it's a little frustrating.
I agree.
I don't know. But that's kind of, without going into too much detail, that's kind of my biggest gripe. Especially because they take up the most screen time. They're on screen
all the time.
A lot. So if that time isn't used wisely, you kind of feel like it's wasted time. I'm trying to be so nice with how I say this, because I like these characters.
You're right. I think Katara specifically, is unfortunately the weakest link, and it just it makes me wonder if the writers like know anything about a teenage girl.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get the feeling that this actor didn't really like. I feel like everything she did was like straight from the script. She didn't like add anything else to like, and I don't know if that was, you know, I don't know if she was directed to do that or any of that stuff, but like, she's a real teenage girl.
Yes.
So like, why couldn't she really like? I don't know. It could be the writing, could be all that stuff.
It frustrates me when people especially with young characters, like, I get it. This show is more mature than that's not in question. Like, it's very clearly different vibe, different energy. But there's this weird attitude, and it's especially with young women. We don't always do this with young male characters. Because I think there's some reverence towards like the growing up of young men and the journeys that they go on. But a lot of the times with characters like Katara, to show that they've made great leaps, we just have them talk like an adult and spew some crazy like knowledge, some super wise quote, or make a decision that an adult would make. You don't see them. We don't really highlight the flaws of being young, but also the positives of being young. Like, there are things that young people have that they grow out of, and a lot of those are ideals and optimism and I want to see that. I want to see her really take initiative, because she is just kind of like, she's such an emotional core of the story. And so far, the emotions she's showed have kind of been what everyone else is feeling. It's like, oh no, there was a huge battle and lots of casualties. She's going to be really sad now. Oh no, Aang's in trouble. She's going to get really sad now. Yay. I can't even think. Like, her positive and negative moments have not been super strong, but she's an emotional person.
I think, you know, the writers are forgetting that, like, she can be all of these things at the same time. I feel like sometimes she'll be like, you know, like in Omashu, it was like very much, her character trait this episode is that she's Sokka's little sister. Her character trait in this episode is that she's going to be optimistic and responsible. And it's like, she can be all of those things at once. She doesn't have to pick and choose when that personality comes out based on what the characters around her need.
Yeah. She can be incredibly mature and still be an annoying little sister and still be teasing and still be... And she can fight for herself while also being gentle and having compassion and having, you know, optimism that is kind of... I would say what's most interesting is to compare her to people like Paku and say, okay, this is what happens when you live your life into old age without having to grapple with your ideals, and you become hardened. You know what I mean? And she's not. She's soft, and that's a good thing. Like, she is a young woman, and she is going to have strong emotions. And it's nice to see those emotions presented not as a weakness. So, I don't know. Just give me a little bit more. I don't even I'm not picky about what it is. Just give me something. A little something. Just give me a little something. Because what they've done with Zuko was really good. Mm-hmm. Aang is pretty much the exact same character that he is in the cartoon. He's not that different. He's pretty much the same. But season 2, you guys, these actors can do it. Like, give them some meat to work with, and I think they'll be very impressive.
Yeah, I kind of am interested in seeing, like, because I think this season there's more spirit world stuff than there is in season 1 of season 1 of the cartoon. So I'm curious if they're going to stick with that at all. Just because with this one, it doesn't just have the original source material. We have a sequel series. We have Legend of Korra. More. Have you seen it?
I started it. I have not watched Legend of Korra, so maybe that's what I gotta watch between this and season 2.
I've seen all of Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra does a deep dive into the spirit world. Yeah. And so there's so much more. Like, actually, Zhao, we see him again in Legend of Korra in the spirit world, and how he's being punished in the spirit world for everything that he did. Good. Which is a slay. But we have 4 more seasons of that world that they could take from, and I'm really curious to see if they're going to.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, like, you can't minimize the importance of the spirit within this world. Because the spirit and the body is, like, in this context, is the ultimate symbol of balance. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what the show is all about. And also, honestly, most forms of martial art are centered on a principle of balance. I don't know enough about martial arts. I should talk to my partner about this. He's done Taekwondo for several years, almost his entire life. But that's huge. Like, there's a massive focus on the idea of balance between what's inside and what's on the outside, you know? And I don't know. We've already seen the powers. We've seen the battles. We've seen them harnessing their external abilities. But I want to see that, like, spiritual growth within the characters. Especially Aang. Because even at the end of this, I feel like he's got to grow a little if he's still ending every battle like, I shouldn't be here. I ruined everything. Like, we're going to age out of that a little bit, hopefully, and he'll kind of have a better view of himself and his own existence. I don't know. There's a lot to be excited for. Like, that's kind of the point I want to drive home. We've been blabbing. I was like, oh, this won't be a long outro at all. And here I am. Yap. It's not even, I just yap, man. I really do. But there's, like, serious potential and really interesting stuff to be explored. So while I understand this may not have been people's cup of tea, obviously we went into this trying to be detached. We've talked so much about the original cartoon in comparison and in reference, but I kind of think you do have to do that with a story like this. But I'm very happy to put that aside and accept changes that they make, as long as those changes
make
stand
sense
and have proper footing and make sense.
Yeah.
So I'm in it. Like, I'm here for the ride. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. This is not a show that I would, like, defend to my grave. You know, I'm not gonna go now onto, like, all the Instagram posts and be, like, fighting people in the
You're
comments.
wrong.
You're wrong. It's actually a really good show. I'm you know, it has not won me over to that extent. But for those who like it, it could be really interesting. And honestly, this has made me much more interested in, like, television writing as a whole. Crafting a television show is
it's
crazy difficult. And you also have to remember that, like, for every show you watch, it's not, oh, here's the one writer who came up with the whole story. It's a writer's room. And it's a room of people throwing ideas at one another. And sometimes they have an agenda. Sometimes that agenda is like, well, we have to make sure this is for adults and not for kids anymore. And so things get muddier in television than they do in film. But that's what makes it interesting to dissect. So from a very artsy-fartsy, pretentious standpoint, I've had a really good time watching this show because I've been able to, like, pick apart decisions. Okay, I'll stop talking now.
Listen, all we can say is at least it's so much better than the movie. It's so much better than the movie that, like, honestly, if you do not enjoy this, which is fine, that's totally fine, I suggest giving the movie a watch, and you will appreciate this like you've never appreciated before. Like, truly.
Maybe that's the next thing we do on the channel. I know. So there's an unpublished White Noise video reaction to that film, but maybe at some point I wouldn't want to make you live through that again. But I can watch it, and maybe even just in my own time, I'll give it a watch, and then whatever reaction I film next, I'll give you my thoughts at the beginning. But yeah, it does. There's plenty that it does right, and there's plenty of skill and talent behind this show. It's just a little messy. So hopefully, 2 more seasons to clean things up and tie in ends and really figure out what the vision is. And I have faith. I have faith as long as the haters don't, I don't know, discourage the writers from doing anything new ever again. Yeah, so please tell us what you thought of the series. Tell us what you thought of season 1 of this particular finale. Obviously, we're still a little rusty. Our Avatar knowledge is a little rusty, mine especially. But neither of us have, like, recently watched it. So if there are major changes that we missed or Easter eggs that we might have missed, drop them in the comments. This is the time to do it. We finished it, so there are no spoilers anymore. And we really hope that you guys join us for season 2, whenever that happens. But for now, if you want to support us in whatever way you can obviously subscribe, like our videos, put a little comment in the comment section. But also, please hop over to our Patreon. There's exclusive content over there, full-length reactions of everything we do, movies, TV shows, some exclusive reactions as well, and also polls, so our upcoming shows you can have some input in. And yeah, we're gonna end this episode there. This was a fun show. We're gonna jump into some other television shows starting shortly, but in the meantime, you can catch lots of movie reactions from us. We've been doing some horror. And thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next reaction.